So welcome back to another slideshow. This is going to be on, drum roll, identifying the limits of your research question. And there's myself, Dr. Bill Mallon. I have to get the plug in every time just in case people forget about me. So we're finding the limits of your research question. When we're finding the limits of your research question in a primary research thesis, so qualitative, quantitative, or mixed methods, you'll need to consider additional factors specific to each methodological approach. When your supervisor or or if you've done your thesis and your examiner has put this feedback in and they said you need to refine the limits of your research question, have a look at this slideshow because this is going to help you, okay? Now here's some final tips I can leave you with in refining the research question. So decide what you want to find out about. So when you're researching, it's good to have a question in mind to inform what you're looking for. Look at your assignment question or thesis question and analyze it to ensure you know what it means and what is expected of you. So basically, okay, ask yourself, what is the question about? What does it mean? What do I need to do? Okay. Now, narrowing your research question. So narrow down your topic. So begin with a broad topic and gradually narrow it down to a specific aspect that interests you. Consider the scope, relevance, and feasibility of your research. So an example would be, let's say you say to yourself, I'm going to do my research thesis on climate change. That's a bit, it's a bit broad, okay? You'll be doing your thesis for many years if you do it that way. So let's narrow it down, okay? The impact of climate change on agricultural practices in sub-Saharan Africa. Okay, now that's a bit more specific, okay? That's a bit more doable. So in doing this, so in narrowing your research question, I always say to people, identify the key concepts. So do a thematic analysis on the literature itself, okay? So that's why I have this highlighted here. So rather than reading 50 books covered or from the front to the back, just go through them and see what the key concepts are. So if you're taking that question above, you're going to be looking for keywords like climate change, agricultural practices, and sub-Saharan Africa. And there's going to be other key concepts there as well, but these are the broad strokes of it basically. And that's going to really help you, okay? Another important thing to see is to see what came before, okay? So review the literature. Conduct a thorough review of existing literature related to your topic to identify gaps, controversies, or areas needing further investigation. This can guide you in refining your research question to address those gaps. So this is an example here. So in literature review finding, while there's ample research on the environmental impacts of climate change, there is limited research on the socio-economic implications for vulnerable communities in mountainous regions. Knowing that, we can refine our research question to something like, what are the socio-economic impacts of glacial retreat on indigenous communities in the Andean region? And my final big tip here is check other people's theses.